Good afternoon, Atlanta. Veterans Day. We are back after a short break. You were watching us on the WCEG network. You can also listen to us by going to YouTube and putting in WCEG network. We were streaming live. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and call in and join the conversation at 678-619-1402. And we back. We added some new guests for the show. So I'm going to introduce one person, and Gus will introduce the other one. I will introduce Master Sergeant Sparky K. Adams, retired of the Sparkle K. Adams, president of the Atlanta chapter of the National Association of Black Military Women, co-chair of Ben Hill United Methodist Church Veteran Ministry, executive director of Walking in Authority Team Council. And I know Ben Hill has some activities going on next week. She'll tell us about that. But in the meantime, I will have Gus introduce our other guests.
We also have a U.S. Army Colonel retired Kathleen Harris, treasurer of the Atlanta chapter of National Association of Military Women and former president of the National Association. She also will be with us during this day.
And next we'll start with you, Sparkle, give us some information.
All right. So basically, we are here to represent several different entities, but primarily the National Association of Black Military Women. This is an organization that's comprised of movers and shakers. We are on the move in the sense that you see a lot of history out there about the guys, about other people, but you very seldom see our story out there. You even see the Tuskegee Airmen story out there. But what about the women that served, the women that were the backbone of a lot of things that happened? You don't hear our story. So our motto is to tell our story, to tell her story. Instead of his story, it's a play on words, her story. And so with that being said, we have been out there, we have been trained, we've been educated, and we need to tell our story because a lot of the younger folks don't even know that there are dynamic women that served in the military. And so with that being said, that's one of the things that we're going to do, that we are doing. We are connecting with the ROTC vets, those that have aspirations to be in the military, to lead them, to guide them, to mentor them. We partner with Clayton County Schools to do that. We also are going to the assisted living facilities and giving back to those that paved the way for us. And so with that being said, I'll let Kathleen talk about some of the events that are coming up.
Sounds good.
Okay, well, as the former president of the national side of the Black Military Women, you know, they started out in 1976 having a reunion of Black military women. They were Vietnam, Korean, World War II ladies. So, and they were having reunions every 2 years. I happened to be stationed in the Pentagon, and I went to San Antonio, Texas to one of their reunions in 1994. There, I met over 50-some World War II ladies. Now, I served for almost 20-something years before I knew that Black women served in World War II. Folks know it today because of the efforts of us putting out the word about these World War II ladies. When I was down there, they told us, nobody knows about us. I said, you're right, because I don't know about you either. And as a major then, I felt that, well, why don't I know about you? Because nobody told me. You know, I walk the halls in the Pentagon, and they do have a hallway for Black military women, but I didn't see any World War II ladies then, you know, and I hadn't been up there to check and see if it has been changed, you know. But we didn't know. I didn't know. So I felt kind of bad. I said, I should know this. You know, how can I tell the young ones about women serving, and I don't know that black women served in World War II? So that was our mission. It used to be called the Black WACs, Black WAC WAC, WAAC, Women Army Auxiliary Corps, and then Women Army Corps, WAC. That's when we became an official part of the Army and all. You know, the armed forces started with the Army, so everybody was in the Army, and before they branched out to the other different sections, services, you know. So, you know, I met these ladies. A lot of them are dead and gone because they're in their hundreds, and you still have some left in their upper 90s and, you know, lower hundreds, but there's some are still living. We have about 3 here, I think, in Georgia, you know. But our thing is to tell the history of black military women. And the biggest problem is that we have is finding them. People need to tell their story. Everybody have a story whether you served or not, but we want these ladies, your next door neighbor, to start telling their story and say, hey, I served too, you know.
Because,
go ahead.
Because one thing that happens is, you know, a lot of times when a person passed, their treasure becomes somebody else's trash sometimes, and then it's not passed down. And a lot of times the families don't know what to do with stuff. And if they don't know and we don't have that history, we tend to lose a part of the history that we need to pass down. One of the things that I know happened just recently, one of the ladies from the 6888 passed with no family.
Right.
No family. And so what happens with the stuff she had? What happens with her accolades, her ribbons, her awards? Are those documented? And I would venture to say now, well, because we knew her, yes, they are, but there was no family to pass it down to. And that's what happens a lot of times, is that the family doesn't know. Some of them don't even know that their loved one was in the military. You have, luckily, right here in the Atlanta area, we have Miss Irma Pete Dryden, and she's like 98, I believe, and she served in World War II. She served as a Tuskegee Airman. But a lot of people didn't know that there were women Tuskegee Airmen. There were nurses. They didn't know. So what happens then? You know, we have to tell the story.
Do you have a website that these ladies can get in touch with you, or their families can get in touch with you?
Yes, the website is, as we know, www.nabmwatl.org. That's for the National Association of Black Military Women, Atlanta.org, nabmwatl.org. They can also call our number. It's 404-907-3744. That's 404-907-3744.
Can any female service member join your organization?
Yes, they can, because I'm Air Force.
From any branch of service?
Yes, because I'm Air Force. And
So
we have we have women from all branches. We don't discriminate at all. The Army may have started it, but the Air Force is running it.
Air Force is flying it now.
Mm-hmm.
They're the pilots now.
I will let her get her joy.
Yeah.
However, you know, we have ladies throughout the whole United States.
Right.
We have chapters in California and New York and Virginia, different places. Mm-hmm.
I know when you start a new organization, you have a lot to do. So are you, as part of your vision or mission, is to create an archive for this information?
We have a national organization.
Yeah, we're not new.
That.
1976 on, yes. And 1998, we incorporated all the services and created the National Association of Black Men. It used to be called the Black WACs, which was the Army.
Right.
So we changed the name and to the Association of Black Military Women. So we have ladies from World War II to current.
Right.
So part of my question was, as you accumulate this history, is there one place that is being taken care of where we can see it?
Right now, we don't have a museum. That's one of the major things that we're working on right now, is to partner. We're partnering with Smithsonian, and we're asking our local chapters to partner with their local museums so that we can put some of the history in.
Some kind of archival.
Right. Right now, when we have our annual reunions, we have almost a ballroom full of displays, and we normally have the media come through to check, and we have some of these ladies who were still alive, who would sit right beside their picture and their story and talk about themselves.
And I think another thing is to answer part of your question is that there has been a part of an oral history being done by Dr. Candy Tate of the Sala Group. And when they take this history, they're finding everything out about us, and then they're sending it to the Library of Congress. Right. So it's archived in the library and also with the Women's History Museum, WMSA, up in D.C., some of our information is housed up there.
That's the historical thing that you guys are doing too, right?
Yeah, we're doing that too.
Right.
Yeah, that's been going on for a while. They were mainly concentrating on the World War II folks, the oral project of the Smithsonian Library of Congress, and they've been having ladies come out at our reunions for years to come to get her story of our World War II ladies, And I tell folks when I go out to speak about women in the military is that I served in the Pentagon and I lived in Laurel, Maryland. And I know we don't come home until dark 30 or leave out dark 30. But I came home for lunch one day and was an old man living next door to me. And he was, working on his yard. And he says, "What uniform is that?" And I told him, I said, "It's the Army, sir." He says, "My wife was in the Army and she was a World War II lady." Never knew. I lived there 3 years and did not know this lady lived next door to me.
Right.
And she was World War II. That's because I wasn't home and I didn't know it.
Exactly.
So I went over there just to meet her. Didn't go back to work that day. However, I called and told my boss, I just met a World War II lady and she has some stories and I'm not coming back to work right now. And he was okay with it because he owed me a lot of time. In the Pentagon, you work all day, weekends and everything else. But however, it was very interesting. Then I took that lady down to WMSA. When we opened WMSA in 1998, I think it was, yeah. And she was just thrilled. And her husband would come over a couple weeks later and tell me, "My wife is still talking about the trip you took her to D.C. She just can't stop talking about it." I'm saying that was a pleasure. Because just listening to their stories, and looking at their pictures, my first question was, how do you keep your hair so nice looking? Because it was sharp back then.
Yeah.
And Charity Adams, the most popular group was the 6888.
The postal unit.
Yeah, the Central Postal Battalion. That was the first battalion of black female women who went overseas.
Right.
Took care of all that backlog of the mail. However, our first reunion under the name of NABMW was here in Atlanta, and Charity Adams was one of our, not keynote speaker, but our special person then, because she was a World War II lady. And I tell you, it's been a pleasure knowing a World War II lady, or a World War II guy, because we partnered with the Tuskegee guys on a few missions that we had,
Right.
and they meet somebody that they known way back then. We went to Fort Des Moines, Iowa, where the first black officers were trained, and that's where the women were trained, because back then it was taboo.
Right.
For women to serve.
To women to go to
Right.
front lines.
Well,
Right.
another thing is, we talk about the World War II ladies, but we had those ladies that served even before then, especially with the Civil War.
Right,
Because,
right.
even though there were slaves, they would hear the plans that were made by the Confederate soldiers and then run and tell the Union soldiers. And a lot of them served as spies to be able to tell, because they thought we were ignorant. They thought we didn't know
Right.
how to read, how to write, how to comprehend. As a matter of fact, the War Department initially said that the Tuskegee Airmen had no capacity to do anything, and they thought that's how we were, but we fooled them. We fooled them.
That's how the red tails came about.
And they served. The ladies served
Right.
in support positions when the guys went off to war. The ladies had to be the ones to hold it down.
Now, how about the ladies that served, like in recent wars, and ladies that are serving now?
Mm-hmm.
If they would like to be part of your organization?
Welcome them. I would love for them to come.
Yeah, we have some ladies who are currently serving as part of members of our organization. We reach out to them and to all ladies who served through all eras and stuff. And it's amazing that you don't hear too much about our Korean vets. We had ladies, they were called the forgotten ones, those who served in Korea. And so we tried to reach out to them now that we need to get focused on our Korean vets.
And then we have we have a category called associate members, those whose loved ones have served and they want to give back. We have a category of those people that just want to give back. They just appreciate your service and they just want to be a part of doing their part.
Exactly.
We got quite a few items on the table today, and some of them I'm going to get to before I forget them. The meeting you mentioned. Tell us about the minister.
I was fascinated because I was thinking about my niece, who is retired military. She actually now served in Clayton County's juvenile system. She's over that.
Okay,
system.
we have to get her, definitely.
And some of Diana, I was thinking about Diana and Ashley and all the women that I work with that are veterans. Yeah. And to Monday, I would like to invite you young ladies to attend Concerned Black Clergy. I am the chairman of Concerned Black Clergy Veteran Affairs Committee. And
Sunday, we're having a meet and greet on Sunday the 17th from 2 to 4 at our office. We have an office at 752 Main Street in Forest Park. And so from 2 to 4, we're having a meet and greet. So we would love for you all to come out as well and just bring them on out.
Unfortunately, Sunday is unpassable.
Reverend McGhee.
And Sunday is we're celebrating my birthday, my sister's birthday, one of my sister pastor's birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
So
birthday.
We got a bunch of March babies, and Sunday I will be committed to that. But I would very much like to get some information to pass on to our ladies, the ladies that we've been working with, who is Hearts for Veterans, Ashley organization.
Right.
And Diana, I just got to talk with Diana. She's back for a minute. And definitely I want to make sure my niece is involved with this because she is a retired.
Okay, we would love that.
And I am very, very much interested in learning more about your organization because, and I thought this was an insult, and it is kind of an insult to me, but the Congress just passed H.R. 1242, 400 Years of African American History Commission Act. Their grant money to document history, African American history.
Right.
I was listening to you because I got a World War II.
422? Okay.
1242.
1242. Okay.
1242. Pull it up and apply.
I will.
Because it is documenting African American history. I kind of think it's one of these those to accepting these Confederate statues when I first read it. You know, so it's kind of but you know, it's money there for documenting Black history. And this is a part of Black history because when you talk about World War II, you talk about a segregated military.
Yes.
Right,
And you know, the documentation of segregation is still going on. I look at Vietnam Veterans New Magazine, all these white faces on there. Ain't got nothing wrong with white faces. I mean, I serve with all
too, yeah.
But our history is not being documented because we're not writing.
And that's what I go out and I tell folks. I said, we are a historical organization. Our mission is to seek out, you know, record and tell the history on Black military women. So that's what we're all about. And we welcome all historians, you know, or organizations who do that because we're not funded to do that and all, but we will be going out to get grants and all so that we can, right now, our chapter is dedicated to getting our history of our Georgians.
Right.
And all. So we're...
Valerie Gordon is a Georgia. I mean, she went into the military because I was in the military. That's my oldest niece. So definitely want to get her hooked up with your organization.
Right, that would be great and stuff. And
So-
you say Monday, what happens on Monday?
On Monday, actually every Monday morning, this is the greatest networking opportunity in the city of Atlanta. Concerned Black Clergy meets at 838 Cascade Road. And this is a Monday morning forum. Monday morning, I make my Veteran Affairs report to CDC. Actually, we are doing some amazing things with the churches, 125 churches in CDC. So we're getting them involved with learning about veterans benefits, the history of veterans, especially. And I like to look at, we're making some of your memos in the Georgia Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I was just meeting with Brian them last week, and he sent me the criteria, and I'm putting Jose in there. So I need at least one female.
Exactly, because you see that wall,
Yeah.
it doesn't look like you and me.
Well,
What time is the Monday?
If we don't present it,
Right.
it's not going to be
Well,
there.
I've been nominated.
Okay.
well, two items. Reverend McGhee is the chairman of the Veteran Committee for the
CBC
CBC.
Okay.
Black Clergy.
And-
Concerned Black Clergy, okay.
and president of Vietnam Veterans of America.
What time on Monday?
At 10 o'clock. It's from 10 to 12. And I guarantee you, you come to that meeting, you're going to love it because of the networking opportunities. And then you'll get to meet our World War II veteran who's there every Monday. We got a
Okay.
World War II veteran in there.
Male or female?
Male. But I bet you got some history.
But they can, you know, maybe put you in touch with other people that,
Exactly.
you know, other females that served.
Now we got a lot
And
of female veterans there and
Yeah.
members of that. CBC.
Definitely, we'll be there, and we also our first president of the National, Colonel Dolores Hampton. She's retired. She lives in the Cascade area, and I will let her know because she used to be the chairperson of the Ben Hill Veterans Ministry. Aren't you the chairperson now?
I'm the co-chair now. Yes.
I've been here.
And as a matter of fact, on Tuesday, the 19th, we're having a Veterans Information Session. 6:30 p.m. at Ben Hill, 2099 Fairburn Road.
Okay.
You did? Okay, well, this time we're going to have Postal Inspector Keamy Green to talk about fraud against veterans. We're going to have Judge Robert Mack from the Clayton County Veterans Court.
Veterans Court, yeah.
We're going to have Tracy Duckett, who is an attorney, and she's going to talk about Veterans Aid and Attendance Allowance. Then we're going to have Special Agent Matt Intrakin from the Georgia Office of Insurance and Safety Fire Commission.
Fulton County Veterans Code as well. So don't overlook.
Well, we'll get them next time.
We surprise who's out there, and that's the piece.
And that's the thing that
That's the piece.
the people that are out there and the organizations that are out there that most people don't know they exist. This is why we do this kind of things that we do, so we can, bring that information to our listeners, and they can get in touch with whoever they need to get in touch in order to get whatever they need to get done.
So tell us your building location again.
Okay, our building location is 752 Main Street in Forest Park. It's the old Georgia Power building. So it's 752. And like I say, Sunday, 2 o'clock, 2 to 4, we're gonna have our meet and greet.
Now, this is the address for the National Association of Military Women.
Atlanta chapter.
Atlanta chapter at 752
Main Street.
Main Street. And their phone number is 404-907-3744.
Exactly.
404-907-3744.
And the website.
And the website is nabmwatl.org.
Correct.
For those military guys like you, me, and everybody else, November Alpha Bravo, Mike Whiskey, Alpha Tango, Lima, Dad, Oscar, Romeo, Golf.
If you can remember.
Yeah, if you can remember all that.
So what I found out, there's a lot of veterans that don't know what's benefits available, don't know the process, how to go through it, and as Rosie McGhee said, we've been to, Anthony has gotten us over to being healed quite a few times. So you mentioned assistant living. How do you work with them?
When we go to them, we find out if there's some military members there, and if we go to them, then we honor them. We can give them a coin. We have a national coin. We give them that. We can give them cards, flowers, or just let them know that we're here for you. We're still here for you, and that's what we could do.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
I'm with Reverend Love too, with the
Albert
Empowerment.
Albert
And last year we started looking at the assistant living, and one of the things that I discovered that we got a lot of veterans in assistant living that's not registered to vote. Will you help us with that?
Oh, sure.
Because see, I think that's a real disgrace, because when they go into assisted living, some of them don't have the mobility that they need to get out and go register to vote. We can register them to vote where they're at and get them absentee ballots, because we need to make sure that they're participating in the democracy that they serve to protect.
Well,
I served 2 terms on the city council in Forest Park.
Okay.
That was the second part that I was going to add to that. I've had some requests for people in assisted living to they are registered to vote, but they need the absentee ballot. They need that notarized and all that taken care of.
Okay, you can count on me with that.
Yeah, because we have folks who are members who work in various areas that, if someone needs help in a particular area, because we're not a service organization. We collect history. But when we do have someone call in and say, I need help with this or help with that, we are able to forward them to different, service organizations and all, because they put out a list and we kind of give them that list of all service organizations that's available to veterans and all.
Well,
now,
Vietnam Veterans of America, the Atlanta chapter, is a service organization, so
right.
you can refer whoever you need to.
As long as the official list on the VA, because that's where I get my list from. And we'll be posting that list on our website as we.
Vietnam Veterans of America is on that list. I sit on the advisory board.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And also, it's important that our ladies tell their story and participate in helping. We're not trying to put aside the men, but a lot of the regulations and rules and stuff like that is geared toward men.
Benefit
And as
men,
we change,
yes.
definitely,
And
as we
we-
change,
Yeah.
you know, we need that special law for our women. And I'm not into that, the legislation part, but we are trying to get.
We talk about that all the time, that most of the stuff.
Actually, that's where I was headed. That's one of the best ways. That's one approach that Reverend McGhee and myself talk about all the time is the legislation part of it. We don't do enough lobbying. And before you guys came in, he was talking about vote smart. We don't do that either. So those are some things that well, me and him talk.
Well, you know, luckily we have some women legislators that are veterans. They've served. We have Senator Tanya Anderson that served. We have State Representative Sandra Scott, and they've been very active in helping our chapter to be knowledgeable of what's out there and what they're working on.
We're listening to Veterans Today on WCEG.network.com. WCEG Talk Radio. You can get in touch with us by calling 678-619-1402. You can keep in touch with 678-619-1402. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or give us a call at 678-619-1402. We are a 501c3 nonprofit community radio station. Please give us a call if you want to get in touch with us and if you want to be part of this conversation. WCEG talkradio.com or WCEG Network.
We'd like to also mention that the National Association of Black Military Women, we are a 501c19, a nonprofit veterans organization. So, you know, we're out there trying to get the stories to the best of our ability, but we do need help, additional help for those who have the expertise in doing that. You know?
Exactly.
They can contact us during our website or at our email address, mainly our secretary at nabmwatl.org or president at ATL.
Say that slower so they can write it down.
It's secretary, the word secretary, SECRETARY, at nabmwatl.org.
Good.
Or they can email president at nabmwatl.org.
And they can always call at 404-907-3744. And they can get in touch with any of you.
Yes.
We participate also in the Juneteenth parade and the Atlanta Veterans Day parade. We read to the we read in the Real Women Read program that Derek Bozeman has. We've done a lot out there. We just have a lot of initiatives to keep it moving.
Exactly. And the thing is that, like we always talk about in this program, most things in the military are geared towards men. And not only in this type of environment, but also in the medical field. The medical field, you know, the kind of care that females get from VA is lacking. A whole bunch of stuff is lacking. And we always talk about that. And if you guys have any idea of any suggestions that we can put out there, we're more than welcome.
Well, I think collaboration is the key to anything, because we don't want to reinvent the wheel, and we have a lot of organizations out here. And although we seem like we're doing the same thing, our mission is a little bit different. One of the things also that we have the Dolores H. Hampton Scholarship Fund, where we we give scholarships to those deserving students. So we're not just telling our story, we're giving back to the community.
Right. And that is something so important that we all know that the military is not only men, and not everything that is done by just men. You know, we know that men do a lot, but behind every single soldier, there is a female soldier behind them. You know, it could be in the dining facility, it could be in the medical field, it could be in the technical field, you know, it could be on human resources, it could be in the battlefield. You know, there are females right next to them, you know, doing the same thing they do.
And you know, one of the other things, and I must mention this, is that you've heard the story that just came out where this lady in the military revealed, one of the senators, revealed that she had been sexually assaulted. And there are a lot of women out there that have experienced that as well as harassment,
right?
Especially during the time when we were in.
Exactly.
And if you turned to get help, there was no help out there. You were pretty much banished. And so we want to let those young ladies know you don't have to put up with this. You do have a support network out here, and that there is somebody you could talk to.
Right.
There are avenues. It's not like it used to be. We're here.
Okay, so
there is somebody out there like you.
Right.
You know? So it's when I came up, you know, it was the only one in class or the only one in the unit,
right,
that looked like me, or in the section or in the department, being the only one. For those of us who are 65 and over, we were the only ones.
Right.
You know, now you're not the only ones.
Exactly.
You know,
So, Sparkle, your other item were the executive director of Walking in Authority.
Walking in Authority Teen Council.
You gotta go.
Yes, well, Walking in Authority Teen Council is.
Good afternoon, WCEG Talk Radio. May we help you?
Oh, good afternoon. How are we?
Fine. How are you?
Miss, I invite somebody else with McGhee to join me, and I just wanted to say something.
Who's speaking? Hello?
I can't hear.
Yes, he says who. McGhee says who's speaking. Did you hear him?
This is Corey McCullough, U.S. Air Force veteran.
Okay. How are you?
I'm great. Having a good day today. How about yourself?
Fantastic. How can we be of service to you?
Did I miss the majority of the good stuff?
Well, if you did, you can always contact us or go on the website or just hang in there. It's some more information coming. How about that?
Okay. All right.
okay. Do you have any questions or
I
comments?
don't right now. I don't have any questions or comments right now. I just wanted to tune in and see what was going on.
All right. Well, it was so nice talking to you, and you have a great day, okay?
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
All right.
Okay. We'll follow up with that. And the next thing you were talking about were
The Walking in Authority Teen Council?
right.
Yeah, so that's an organization that I founded when I was on the city council in Forest Park. I was the first African American elected to that position, and I knew that the adults had a venue to go to if they had a problem in the community. And we want the youth to be invested in the community, but we're not teaching them how. We're not giving them an avenue to follow. We're not looking for those successors. And a lot of times when we look for people to run for office, we're looking for the loudest symbol, and they may not be qualified, they may not have the education, they are the loudest symbol, and so you get what you got. And so I train the teens on life skills, how to walk, talk, dress, act, those soft skills that are sorely missing. And so I exposed them also to be leaders in the community, to be accountable and responsible. I empowered them to be accountable and responsible. And then I opened them up to my network.
Right.
And so they meet people in all different positions, all different careers. And a lot of times we'll tell them, go vote when they turn 18. We don't teach them how to vet a candidate. We don't teach them the voting process.
Right.
We don't teach them the language. And so my teens know who their legislators are. They know who their city council people are. They know who the local government is.
Right.
And they interact with them. They have internships with them, and they contact them. And so I teach them about city government as well, because they need to know it.
Right.
And with that being said, it's a youth-led organization, and so they can look into their future with their lens, listening, their education, and again networking, because networking is a huge key. We meet the second and fourth Tuesday of the month, and our guest speaker this past Tuesday was from the Department of Labor.
Right.
To talk to them about resume writing and interviewing skills and learning themselves, teaching them how to know their strengths, their weaknesses, their opportunities, and their threats, to do a SWOT analysis on themselves, to develop a strategic plan for their lives.
Right.
Because a lot of them, they don't know, like I said, the soft skills that is necessary to move forward. They don't need, a lot of them don't even know how to iron a shirt.
Yeah, because that's something that they don't do often.
And so when they show up to the interview with a wrinkled shirt,
looking like a soup sandwich.
yeah, and they don't see anything wrong because they haven't been taught.
Exactly.
We don't talk to them. We don't tell the story. We don't sit them down. And a lot of times we know they don't want to hear it. They got to hear it. We cannot be afraid of our young folks. We have to teach them. And so that's what we're about in Walking in Authority Teen Council. So another thing that we've recognized lately is that a lot of the teens are up under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Pressure to perform, pressure for testing. They have anxiety, they have depression, and a lot of them are dealing with bullies that
pressure
leads
to fit in.
That leads to suicide.
Yeah.
That leads to suicide, it leads to drug use, it leads to bad behavior.
Right.
And we have to get a hold of that. And so that's what I'm trying to do out here with our teens.
Okay. Let's go back and talk about your event on Saturday.
Community rally to support veterans on Saturday, March the 23rd. This rally is like all the other rallies we have for community support, to support veterans. We're talking about the issues and the plight of veterans in Metro Atlanta. Now, we know the VA hospital is in crisis. What are we going to do about it? We know that the VA benefits administration is in crisis. What are we going to do about it? RAMP, was that the answer? Do we understand the new laws that's been passed by Congress? Veterans first? It seemed like veterans last to me because they took benefits. They are restricting benefits. We need to talk about this. We are the highest voting bloc in the community. Veterans, we go to the poll religiously and vote. We need to teach our vote some sense. You know, we need to direct our votes to people that's going to champion our cause. And we are not engaging these people. So the community rally is your opportunity to come out and get. We're going to have plenty of veterans there, camaraderie, food, music. It's an opportunity for us to talk to the media. The media going to be there. We're going to be Facebook Live. We're going to do Instagram. We're going to do whatever we got to do to get veterans to understand this one thing. You've earned benefits that was designed for you, your family, and your community. When you're not getting these benefits and you're not maximizing these benefits, you're cheating yourself, your family, and your community. So what we do at Vietnam Veterans of America is to make absolutely sure that you are maximizing the receipt and the usage of your benefits. The rally is on Saturday, March the 23rd. It's located at 2492 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive at the Grand Auto Service Center, right across from the motor station, Holmes Motor Station. Starting at 4 o'clock, we'll be from 4 to 6, just rallying food, free food. We got some things that we're gonna be passing out that's gonna be life changing.
Free grub.
I got a question for you. So your group, the Vietnam Veterans of America, does that also include the Vietnam era veterans?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's me.
Vietnam. But let me say this. That's the name of the organization. We are 501c19 Veterans Service Organization, but we represent every veteran. Our founding motto is that never again will one generation of veterans abandon another one. So we are not just representing veterans, we are representing active duty military. They can't speak under the military code of conduct.
They cannot.
We can speak for them.
We can speak for them, yeah.
So come out. Veterans, it's a community rally to support veterans, all generations. It just so happened Vietnam Veterans of America is the orchestrator of the event, but we got partners.
Not partners. We got partners.
We got partners.
We got partners.
We got veterans helping veterans, Hearts for Veterans, American Legion, so we're talking about community rally to support veterans. We got to become visible in our community as veterans. Nobody values us because they don't know what we do.
Exactly.
So that's what we do. We have something.
You mentioned
you need to partner with your female veterans organizations.
We got Hearts
We
for
should
Veterans.
do that.
Now we got
Yeah.
another partner.
Hearts for Veterans female. Okay.
You mentioned legislation and how we need to be aware of what's going on. And when I think about this wall they're talking about, and the money's coming from the military.
The military housing.
Yeah, and I don't.
Military maintenance.
I don't see an outrage about that.
No.
Well, we need to do the outrage.
Yeah.
The military
Exactly.
can't do the outrage.
We are the ones that need to do that.
Yeah.
Speak out wrong. What's that? Insubordination. They can't speak. We can't speak.
They can say nothing.
So this is what the rallies are all about. We need to
Okay.
talk about that.
Gotcha.
Because see, my grandson can't tell his
Commanding officer, yeah.
what to do. We know that. He's up under the military code of conduct. We honor that, we respect that, but we know that we got to represent that.
Gotcha.
We got to help them. We got to speak for them.
We have to speak for them, yeah. Because that money is not coming from, it's coming from building maintenance, it's coming from housing, it's coming from housing allowance.
And facilities.
It's
And
taken away
facilities,
from
yeah.
the needs of the military.
Exactly.
And that money was allocated for the
For
military
that, yeah, for
by
that.
Congress.
Exactly.
The president don't have congressional
Approval
approval for it.
to take that
and don't
money.
have constitutional powers to
Authority.
take it.
Yeah.
Being a
And-
budget
and-
person myself and working in the Pentagon, you get cut all the time. The services get cut all the time. When they need to slash something, they slash the big dollar item.
Yeah.
And maintenance, there's a huge backlog in maintenance for the military, but I can tell you that it was better than when I was in the beginning. We had our World War II
Right.
plate barracks and stuff that we stayed in.
See,
They have increased, new barracks and stuff for soldiers and all that kind of stuff. Still, additional things need to be done for the women. However, maintenance there's a big backlog at the Pentagon for maintenance.
well, we know that because the military bases are contaminated,
Right.
and we need to speak out against that too.
The water's contaminated.
Listen,
The buildings are messed
got
up.
It's so
more
old.
Yeah, molded.
contaminated military bases today than ever before. And we are allowing our young people to go serve on these bases without warning them,
Yeah.
without telling Congress that you're going to have to do something about them. We're still
Right.
talking about Okinawa, and we're having a press conference on the day of the rally about Okinawa. 50,000 troops served on Okinawa. But the United States don't recognize right to this very day that they had Agent Orange stored on Okinawa, and they're unearthing barrels of chemicals.
Yes.
Our people are dying because of exposure to these chemicals. What are we going to do about it? Are we just going to sit around and be nice? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother right now is suffering with that jungle rot from Vietnam, you know, with his feet and everything. And although they're giving him money, it's still, you know,
It's not what now?
yeah, although they're giving him money, you know, the VA is giving him money and they're treating him, it's like what he's suffering is far greater than the amount of money.
Than the amount of money that they're paying.
I got a
Yeah.
real problem with Vietnam, you know, era benefits. I was wounded in combat. It took me 16 calendar years to be service connected because the scars was not enough to be given anything but 0%.
I'm going through that right now.
You know, so we go through these changes. Now I've been doing veterans claims since 1975. I'm paralegal by trade. I can tell you that the system, the process at VA has gotten worse than better. The only green good light to me is e-benefits, the capacity to file your own claim. But you better know how.
Well, that's true, and that's what we talk about a lot, and that's part of the agenda too, is to train veterans or family members to do it electronically and to do it using the e-benefits on My Healthy Vet, because that's one of the issues that my group, Veteran Helping Veterans, run into with people filing claim is their skill level. So it's.
Let me say this: every first Monday of the month at my church, I know it's being done. Veteran Claim Clinic. I teach you how to do it. Teach you how to get your benefits. You know, and we want people to know that we're working on that with Veterans Helping Veterans.
I'm giving you a plug. You're training some of my people now. I appreciate it.
That is every Monday, every first Monday of the month. And where is that there, Reverend McGhee?
At 621 Memorial Drive. Starting at 6 o'clock. We say from 6 to 8, but we stay there until everybody get down so they won't.
6 to 8 in the evening.
6 to 8. From 6 p.m.
PM.
Oh, PM. Just want to make sure it's PM.
Yeah, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Yeah, we want to make sure
Because
those
some
guys
soldiers like that early
working.
morning.
We still got veterans that are trying to work with disabilities, and that's a shame.
And at 621 Memorial Drive, every first Monday of the month, you can go, and Reverend McGhee will do his thing and teach you guys, like I'm going to go one of these days, to fill your paperwork properly. Fill out your paperwork properly and turn in your claims to VA so it won't get returned.
Let me add this. We're now training service officers. I got all the information from National, so we're now training service officers. So you can actually come to this clinic.
That's what I need to
I'm
do.
a certified National Service Officer. So anybody that's interested, right now we got 7 people. So we
So
moving forward with the
it's you're
7.
training service officer, not the person to fill it out? You're not, during this time frame, are you helping people fill out there?
And
The actual
training
person?
officers.
And training off.
And training officers.
Oh, okay, you're doing both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, what you can do is work on your own as part of the training,
You're
And-
working on own stuff.
and once you complete
I'll
that,
be there. I'm going to put my name down.
Yep.
he'll get you certified.
My friends were getting after me because I retired in 2003. Although I put it in the system then, but never hit the button submit and all. But I'm always getting other folks to go get their benefits. It's time for me to try to get mine. Falling apart.
Don't lose that money because it's your earned money.
And let me say this. One of the things that I hear people say to me, I wasn't in Vietnam. I'm glad you wasn't in Vietnam.
Yeah, most definitely.
We would have perished. It wouldn't have been nobody coming home. The support that carried the walls, how all the chemicals that we use in the walls, the Air Force and the Navy is still fighting for recognition from Vietnam. They got a bill in Congress right now, and we need to know that. We need to make sure our congressman is going to approve that, because see, one of the things that happened, we have people stationed. Well, Fort Gilliam is contaminated. I didn't tell you.
Oh yeah, we know that.
So, I mean,
it's a depot.
Nobody want to talk about it, but we talk about it. We have to talk about it because we know. We were there. We got our young people going through the same thing. We can't afford to be quiet.
And one thing about Vietnam era veterans, I'm a Vietnam veteran. I actually had boots on the ground. But there are a lot of people that don't even know that they are qualified because they was exposed to Agent Orange. So they're just leaving benefits on the table, really, and it's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. I mean, too many. And I want people to understand, going to the VA to register in the Agent Orange register don't file claims.
No, it doesn't.
It just get a medical overview of your treatment, just in case you come up with one of the issues.
I got a question. I have an aunt in Chicago who's a Korean War vet, and she has a steel plate in her arm because there was a car accident. And they only give her supposedly 30%, which is $300 a month. And she's in her 80s. Now, she's not 30%, she's 100%. So do we have connections with those people in other states that can help her?
We have chapters in every state of the union. So I mean, I just got off the phone with National. They probably don't like me that much no more. But I'm that Vietnam veteran. You know, I'm that guy that cuts up. So when it comes down to, especially seniors that have been, see, one of the things that we have to keep in mind, you cannot have a physical disability without incurring a mental disorder. Can I say that again to you?
Yeah, understand that.
Just recently, Dwight, I know you probably listen because I text you. Dwight was diagnosed with tendonitis. His tendonitis was so bad, he got 10% for it. It was so bad that his doctor sent him to mental health. He got an adjustment disorder. He got him 100% last month. So we need to know what our benefits are and how to pursue them. One of the problems in the system today is that we are filing bad claims because I had here last week, guy go in there claiming PTSD, no diagnosis. You don't have a disability if you don't have a diagnosis in the record. So don't go in there letting anybody file something for you. That's not right. You need two things: diagnosis, service nucleus evidence.
And one thing about that also is, I talked to him, is about claim processing, claim management. You got to manage your claim. And for a situation like that, it binds something, you have to provide additional information. But for it to have been that long, there are some additional things that has happened so that amount should have been increased. But you have to get it increased by filing additional information.
And you can bet she had talked to her provider about depression. You know, you don't have a physical disability without incurring a mental disorder. You know, it's just impossible. I mean, I don't have one disability from VA right now. It's PTSD. So,
and I got a whole bunch of them.
I was medically retired from VA because of that disability.
Right.
You know, so the mental disorders are the 100%ers in the system. You know, this is the quickest route to 100%, and it's not something you create in yourself.
Yeah.
You have
And
it.
I can tell you that when I was in the Pentagon, and when I read up on something, and I immediately called my brother-in-law. I said, "You need to go down." He was a Purple Heart person, and during the middle of the '90s, a lot of the laws changed for Vietnam vets. Was a lot of benefits added in there for Vietnam vets in the middle of the '90s, for Agent Orange, all kinds of stuff. But he was a Purple Heart person, veteran, and I told him, I said, "You need to go back down." I said, I've known you all my life, but I don't know whether or not you have any dreams, anything like that, or any problems. I said, but you need to go down to the VA. I said, and get your percentage increase. So he did that. And after going there and through counseling sessions and all that kind of stuff, he did get his benefits increased. And then in 2013, I think, he had cancer. So then they gave him 100% disability temporarily because his cancer can't be cured but it's just that he didn't know I said, I can't tell you too much more about it. I said, but you need to go down there and listen to some of these old guys down there and see what's what.
I tell them to go listen to the VSOs, the old guys that mislead you.
I know, but they certainly helped him out.
The barracks lawyers.
I'm talking about.
We need to direct everybody to VSOs. That's who individuals.
Well, those old guys are down there in that VA.
They're tough.
And he said he had a lot of support, and they tell him what they did and what happened to them and whatever, where to go and stuff like that. But you don't know. It's just so much. It's so much, and you don't know where you fall in that hierarchy of everything.
Right.
It's veterans have a lot of problems, and you don't know whether your problem fall in that piece where you get a benefit.
But
Veterans don't die of natural causes.
Yeah.
But then I don't want to discourage the younger folks from going in, because my military service was the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
And I think it saved my life for real.
Well, we're not trying to discourage them from going in there. We're trying to make sure that when they go and serve and they come out, they get what they deserve. Mm-hmm. They get the services and the benefits that they earned.
That was earned and was promised.
Well, that's true. And Anthony and myself been doing this show, I think, by at least 4 years now. And we have talked to people that were pilots, that were helicopter pilots, that were fighter pilots. And a lot of us, I'm from rural Georgia, and a lot of us from different places. And if we didn't go in the military, as it was said earlier, you get the best training in the world. You get discipline. It's just that there are side effects that goes with it too.
Exactly. You get the side effects with the training, yeah.
Well, I like to refer back to my book. It's called Shock Change. Memoirs of an American Combat Veteran. The scripture says that we perish for the lack of knowledge.
Right.
The biggest need of our community is information. Knowledge of these benefits. Now, since 1975, I've been trying to do this, and recently I came to the realization that the best entity in the community to help us get this knowledge is the church.
Right.
Preachers preach it from the pulpit. They benefit from it.
Indeed.
Everybody in my church, every veteran in my church is service connected. And they don't mind tithing because they're service connected. So my message to your pastors is just show me your veterans and help you increase your tithes. Because I need you preaching this message from the pulpit. I need the encouragement, that the book is supposed to give us. We need veterans to be encouraged to get their benefits. We was encouraged to serve.
Exactly.
I can remember coming home, my dad didn't want me to take off my uniform. When I took it off,
don't take your boots off.
But listen, when I took it off, I had PTSD. He said, something wrong with you, boy. You need to get some help.
Don't take your boots off, boy.
So we have to combine, collaboration. I think is one of the best keys for us in the community, especially veterans, helping veterans, and the rest of us, is to keep getting information out. Keep doing what you guys are doing here every week, and trying to encourage people to tell their story. Because one thing about history is only of the people that write it. I'm finding that out now.
Yeah.
I was in a unit. I served the 173rd in Vietnam with about 85% African American. I don't see any of that on the copy of my magazines.
No.
I don't see it because we are not writing our
Exactly.
history.
Exactly.
We're not telling
No
our
one
story.
can tell your story but you.
Yes.
And the thing is that, whoever writes the story, whoever writes history, writes it the way they want it to be. Not necessarily the way it was, but the way they would like it to be. And that's what we read, whatever they wrote. And if you want to be part of it, you need to be actively encouraging those that were there, to come up and tell their story, and to be able to write the story the way it was, not the way it would like to be. You would like it to be.
Because now I like want to do y'all involved with the Atlanta Veteran History Project?
Yes. African American history. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So,
Because everybody's trying to tell our story. We need to tell our story.
That's my point. Is the best way to do it is to do it yourself, and then you tell it the way you want it, and then you get it out there. But as he was saying, I get calls all the time from all over the United States. Somebody want to get some information about black veterans, a librarian in San Francisco, whatever. But this person is somebody never been in the military and whatever. But my bottom line is, we need to do it for ourselves.
I know when we first started off for the National Association at the Black Wax, we started up the National Association and got it incorporated and all that. One of the things people say, well, why do you need that? I said, let me tell you a story. When WMSA opened up, we made sure all about World War II ladies that we knew and our Korean ladies that we knew about be there during that opening. When they went through that museum, they didn't see themselves. We had a couple little pictures in there, and then they had a big complaint. Well, they didn't write anything about us. I said, did you give them anything?
Yeah, we didn't write anything back.
That's the situation right there.
Did we give them any? I said, it's not there because you didn't give it to them. They're just not going to come up with something and you didn't give it to them. I said, that's our mission, to tell her story. And I said, the reason we have a Black Military Women's Organization is because we want to make sure our Black history gets in there and there'll be no excuse. So if there's a display, even when we went up there to Fort Des Moines when they dedicated that museum there, they had a picture of Charity Adams, who we're very proud of and all, but there wasn't a whole lot of other ladies. And we brought, close to 40 ladies up there. And I'm saying, they're not about to go in that museum and not see themselves. And all. We came up here especially for the dedication, and the honor. I said, so we were allowed to put in pictures, World War II pictures of all these ladies in there. We have a whole floor full of them. And all. And when they came in, they were very proud. They stepped very proud. And the media wanted to talk with them. And all. And they said, and then they started saying, okay, I'm saying, people want to talk to you. And every reunion we normally have people coming who doing documentaries on our ladies. And all. So it's important to say something. Tell your story. Check your neighborhood and see if there's a person there who served.
See, what bothers me, the media don't tell our story. They give snapshots of our story. I start wondering, there was a young lady that was in the military last year sometime that was involved with the killing of her children. What happened to her? We don't know.
That's it.
Because the media just gave us the tragedy of her story.
Right.
What happened to her? Do our community know anything about her? You know, if it weren't for radio like shows like this, we wouldn't have a voice. You know, we need to have a voice, and we need to be able to tell our stories when we feel that we're not telling. I'm always encouraging guys in my, why don't you write a book? I mean, I'm tired of hearing you talk to me. I'll be gone too. I'm gonna be gone too, so it don't do no good to keep telling me.
Write it down.
Write it down.
Yeah.
Write it down and pass it on.
And pass it on.
Yeah.
You know,
Write it down and pass it on.
I write little short books for some of them, you know, because they got some amazing stories to tell.
Yeah.
But they won't tell them.
Yeah. We have a few ladies who have written books, and we try to make sure people know about those books and all. But I'm even surprised that when we just had a reunion here in Atlanta in last August, and we had a couple ladies said, well, they're written books. I said, why don't you let us know so we can pile these books up on the table for them to buy and to support you. But you need to give me a copy of your book so I can have your history and all. It's important, and I agree with you, especially the ladies. I said, if you served at any time, I don't care what you did. If you came in and served 6 months and got out, you served. You went through basic training, that's enough serving for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, so it's, you know, and I told them we have National Guard, Army Reserve, and active duty. So we have
Coast
everybody.
Guard.
And I will make sure if, you know, we get a schedule that you are able to present to Concerned Black Clergy of Atlanta. I think it's a good basis for.
That'd be great.
And remember, our meet and greet is on Sunday,
On Sunday.
the 17th, from 2 to 4 at 752 Main Street, which is our office, 752 Main Street in Forest Park.
And we invite
Forest
folks to
Park.
come in after
From
church
what time to what time did
and
you say?
have
Two,
dinner. We serve dinner.
2 to 4 p.m. And we will have food.
Hey, free grub.
Yeah.
Anytime there is free grub, it's time for you to go there.
And then if you want to just donate to our cause, you want to donate to the organization, you can go on our website and we have a donate button.
Hey,
Just put in your information.
That's the most important.
Hallelujah. Thank
that
you.
is-
Appreciate
That is
it.
the most important button there.
Because we need to keep programs going on. We need to provide the young cadets with information. We need to provide the seniors with little trinkets, little something to say thank you. We appreciate you all. We haven't forgotten you.
Yeah, and check up on them.
And check up on them.
You're listening to Veterans Today on WCEG Network.
And one last point I would like to make, talking about a wall. We are building a wall here in Atlanta, but it is a memorial wall. There was 128 young men that left Atlanta, Georgia, that were killed in the Vietnam War. Barack gave us an opportunity to make amends for that generation with the 50th anniversary commemoration of the wall. Every major city in Atlanta has built a wall except Atlanta. We'll be presenting a documentary of those young men that this Memorial Day. So y'all just keep it open because we like your input. We like to partnership up with you guys to do a better work. I think we can.
Yeah. And Tuesday, don't forget the Veterans Information Session at Ben Hill United Methodist Church, 2099 Fairburn Road, 6:30 p.m. And we're going to also have a VA representative out there as well.
You're listening to Veterans Today on WCEG Network with Anthony C. Aiken, who is not here today. Herman Anderson and Gustavo Juliá. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or give us a call at 678-619-1402. We are a 501c3 nonprofit community radio station. Please donate if you can.
And time is running out, so I'm going to give everybody one more opportunity to summarize what's on your mind. We'll start with you, Reverend McGhee.
What's on my mind is a community rally to support our troops this month, 23rd, Saturday, March the 23rd, from 4 to 6 p.m. at 2492 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. It is the opportunity for you to come out and talk about your issues. Come out and do camaraderie with other veterans, and we got free grubs, we got free food.
Free grub is always welcome.
And you know, we're having a press conference about Okinawa. It's time for us to stand up for the veterans that served in Okinawa. So see you on Saturday, March the 23rd. Community rally to support that.
Ladies.
All right. We also want to again highlight the fact that we appreciate this. We appreciate you all having us here to be able to tell our story and to get the information out about the National Association of Black Military Women, the Atlanta chapter. Our website is nabmwatl.org, nabmwatl.org, 404-907-3744. We are having a meet and greet this Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. at 752 Main Street in Forest Park, along with Tuesday, our Veterans Information Session. This is the first time that we'll have people talking about fraud against veterans from the Postal Inspection Service, from and from the Office of Insurance and Fire Protection, because there are people going around writing up policies for veterans, saying it's for veterans, and it's something it's a fraud.
Yeah.
It's a fraud, and so that's going to be Tuesday, 6:30 p.m., 2099 Fairburn Road. So come on out, and also Walking in Authority Teen Council. If you know a teen that's out there trying to do the right thing, because there's a lot of money out there for those that are carjacking, robbing, and stealing.
Yeah.
That's fine. A lot of money out there for those who are jockeys through the athletic program. But there are kids that just want to do the right thing.
Exactly.
They may not be athletically inclined, and they may not be, on the super.
Yeah, the most popular kids.
Right. But they want to do the right thing. The parents are looking for something, and God forbid they have both parents in the house. They really, have a hard time. So it's an opportunity to learn life skills. So that's Walking in Authority Teen Council.
Well, I want to let everyone know that we appreciate it, and it doesn't matter of which race you are. Although we're the National Association of Black Military Women, we encourage all women to participate, all veterans to participate in these activities, because it helps you. Your benefits is the same as my benefits. So that's very important, because after Vietnam era, women in the military just went up over 140,000 folks. So we serve 14% in this war, in this military of the United States. 14% are women, and about 7%, I believe, women serve more than men. Women, I believe it's 7% for in the different services. And yay, we have our first black female general. Marines.
Yes.
I cannot say her last name, Mahan, but they finally approved her in Congress, and hopefully she should be pinning it on soon.
That's great.
Because the Marines was the only service who did not have a black female general.
It took a long time to get a black female.
I'm telling you. Hey.
Because Ruth Lucas was the first black female colonel. So, and that was way back.
Way back.
And okay, and with that, tell you a couple things about myself. I'm Herman Anderson. I'm a Vietnam veteran of the Air Force. My organization is Veteran Helping Veterans Incorporated. My website is Veteran Helping Veterans Incorporated. And my telephone number for my nonprofit organization is 404-996-3790. Again, give us a call. Give me a call at 404-996-3790.
Well, we have had a beautiful program today, beautiful day. Well, not necessarily today because it's raining out here.
But it's sunny in here.
But it's sunny in here. It is great. We had 3 great guests today on Veterans Today. Air Force Master Sergeant retired Sparkle K. Adams. Sounds like a singer, name for a singer. President of the Atlanta chapter of the National Association of Black Military Women. Co-chair of Ben Hill United Methodist Church Veterans Ministry, and executive director of Walking in Authority Teen Council. We also have had today U.S. Army Colonel retired Kathleen Harris, treasurer of the Atlanta chapter of National Association of Military Women, and former national president of said association. And we had also Reverend Herman McGhee, the Bible of the EA. If you need to get in touch with Reverend McGhee, you can get in touch with him at 770-895-3260. Today, Veterans Today, with Anthony C. Aiken, who is today serving as a judge somewhere.
At a school.
Yeah. Herman Anderson and Gustavo Juliao speaking to you right now. So, I hope that you have a great day and a very, very, very nice weekend. I want to send a shout out to my son that just got operated on, and everything came out very good.
Right.
So, hey for you, fat boy. We love you, and we're glad that everything went okay.
And with that, we're going to say have a good Friday afternoon. We'll be back next Friday with another show. This is Veterans Today. Hope you enjoyed it.
Great Women's Month.
Oh, yeah. Women's History.